All right, David, let me see that again.
That's done with a Citadel Tactical K-Bar. $54 knife. Does a hell of a job on somebody.
And the answer to that is a $29 surgical kit.
Brother, you are hardcore, my friend.
I told you guys I had 2 bullets in me.
You are hardcore, my dog. What I am looking for here is, where is my first aid cream? Got it over here. Triple antibiotic. Okay, Dave, we need to put some of this on there and get this fucker bandaged up, okay?
Did a nice job.
I told you. I had all the faith in the world. I was willing to do this as soon as it happened.
Yeah, you were willing.
Only as soon as it happened, not before.
Well, actually, before it happened, I was going to talk to him about it.
Huh.
But he beat me to the punch.
First in running.
So when
You
this
know
little,
the sun is setting.
so when yeah,
You got to get shelter.
We're going to get it done.
so when this little light's
We're gonna
flashing,
get it
what's
done.
happening?
Don't you worry about it.
We'll
It's
be
recording.
We're recording.
Yeah,
Okay.
worst comes to worst, I got a giant
Join
tarp in
me.
my bag.
Brother, we're going to be fine. Don't you worry about it, okay? We're going to get you taken care of first.
You have been through. You're a little green in the face, but you look good.
You look good.
You do look good.
Now, do me another favor.
Put some sugar in his ass,
Eat a little bit.
or you can eat a lot bit. It's a good thing you got a teammate to help you get your stuff done.
Remember when I come across that border in Oklahoma?
Brother,
I have.
always remember.
I will have a very good supply of stitches.
The whole medical kit that I've got here probably costs about $100 to put together, but as you can see in an emergency, it's pretty well
We have to
worth.
call Sarah when this is over and give her a report.
I'm going to send her a picture, bro.
Well, let's snap a picture of them
Let's snap a
fucking
picture
stitches.
Now.
Snap
Go
a
on,
picture of
snap
them
a picture.
stitches.
Let's don't bandage me up and rip it off.
Rip it off. He'll piss on himself.
Start over.
Yeah, let's start over. We'll take sutures out and we'll go on it. Hi, I'm Mike from Citadel School of Self Reliance. We're fresh out of the woods today here at Citadel, just off of one of our survival classes, a basic survival class, and we had a medical emergency, and it reminded me of why it's so important to have a medical kit. And this is a hardcore piece of steel, and your flesh and your bone is no match for this knife. This thing's meant to wreck airplanes, this particular one, but your flesh and bone is definitely no match for it. One misplaced glancing blow, and you're going to take out some digits, you know, a good cut here, one across here, or just a slip, and all of a sudden you're laid open. There are a lot of other medical emergencies that can happen in the field, certainly, but this weekend, as you've seen earlier on in this video, one of my students had a slip with his knife, and he cut himself in the knuckle, and he opted for us to fix it in the field. We were quite a ways away from everything, you know, a long ways away from a hospital, quite a ride, and it would have been the end of the class, and for whatever reason he decided that he wanted us to fix it in the field. And I want to say first off, I'm no doctor, and we're in no way licensed to perform medical procedures, and unless I miss my guess, you probably aren't either. But in an emergency, any kind of decent care that you can get is certainly better than none. And if you carry a properly stocked medical kit in one of these types of pouches, or maybe both, then you can certainly take care of most medical emergencies that you're going to have in the field. Either one of these types of pouches will fit all of this gear and a whole lot more. So for very serious wounds like a gunshot, you could have this quick clot combat gauze. And it's got the quick clot already in the gauze, so all you have to do is bandage the wound and apply pressure, and bleeding goes away. But what we used this weekend was a field surgical kit. Something like this one right here. As a matter of fact, this is the exact kit that we used. And what we had to do is we had to run some sutures into an open wound. And this kit comes fully stocked with suture. It comes stocked with hemostats, a probe, an exam light, bandage scissors, comes with another smaller set of scissors, tweezer, scalpel handle, sterile scalpel blade, iodine prep pads, alcohol wipes, and triple antibiotic ointment for when you're done. This is a syringe kit, and it's everything that would be laid out on a table at a hospital in order to give you stitches. And this is a really good addition to your kit as well. But the kind of things that you're going to need if you do run into one of these medical emergencies is you're going to need a pad, an ABD pad, something to sop up blood. You're going to need a 4x4 pad when you're done to dress the wound. Maybe it's an eye wound and you need an eye patch, an oval eye patch. Some of the other medical emergencies that you might run into, you might really need to do a whole lot of soaking up blood. You may be getting into serious gauze. You may have to wrap a very long wound. So having some of these in your kit is a very good idea. Also, let's not forget about after the procedure is done, you're going to have ibuprofen. You're going to need it. Ibuprofen, Tylenol, any of those types of things. But specifically, I like Tylenol and ibuprofen. They are two different drugs. Tylenol is acetaminophen. And acetaminophen only prevents pain. It doesn't do anything for inflammation. Ibuprofen is an anti-inflammatory, and it takes down swelling. It actually relieves pain by relieving inflammation in muscle tissue, and that's why it works. So if you've got both of those, you're able to alleviate a lot of pain on whoever you've had to work on. And let me stress again that you should not attempt any of these types of things, one, unless you've been properly trained to do them, that you feel confident that you can, and that it is a real emergency. There are hospitals just down the street that will handle this much better than most people can. Only if you're the patient, you're probably going to be very nervous about this procedure. But you're a lot tougher than you think you are. I actually didn't think that our student this weekend was going to be as tough as he was. I knew him to be a tough guy, but I thought he would have a lot of flinching and pulling away, and he didn't do any of that. He didn't shed a single tear. As a matter of fact, he was steadier than I probably could have been. And you are a lot tougher. Your body will take over. You'll want to survive. So you'll let a lot of very painful things be done to you in order to survive. But I stress again, only do them in an emergency. Only use these types of things in an emergency when you absolutely have to. They're not for fun, and if you're going to run sutures or do tracheotomies or learn how to deal with gunshot wounds, you should come to a competent school that can teach you that sort of thing. Using anatomy dummies or pig carcasses is something that we use here at our school. In your medical kit, some other things that you should think about are things like this sterile eye wash. It can also be used as irrigation fluid because it is sterile, so you can wash a wound out with this. You should think about an instant cold pack, something to take down swelling, or if you've had a mechanical injury, some kind of muscle injury or whatnot, to keep it from swelling up. And then, of course, there's broken legs. And something like this universal splint could be a lifesaver under those circumstances to get that bone set and in place and taken care of. One of the other things I'd like to point out is that if you are going to be doing a lot of cutting with a tool, whether it's a hatchet, whether it's a knife or anything like that, these combat gloves are some really good stuff. And as a matter of fact, this weekend, our student wouldn't have had a cut. His cut actually was right here across this knuckle where he smacked himself with the knife. And if you can see here, this has hard knuckles. This protector would have stopped that. And even if he would have struck somewhere in here, some sort of padding, some sort of protection and tough fabric over your skin is going to make the cut a whole lot less than what it would have been if you didn't have any protection. So a set of gloves is always a good idea. But again, I stress, don't do these types of things unless you are in a medical emergency, and be sure that you trust the person who's doing them to you. Get some training, get out there in the field, learn how to do this type of stuff. It could save your life one day. I'm Mike with the School of Self Reliance. Check us out on our Facebook page and check us out at citadeltactical.com and click on our section that says School of Self Reliance. Find out about our classes and any further training, and continue to watch our videos. We hope you enjoy them. Thanks.